Right, well, let's take a look at the international headlines we're following on this Friday morning. For that, we turn to Eunice Kim at the NewsCenter. Hello there, Eunice.
Good morning, Mark.
So we're seeing a build-up in the US-led coalition against Islamic State, which, not least of which, is Britain, in fact. There's a very good possibility they're going to be joining airstrikes against IS targets in Iraq.
That's right, Mark. The British Parliament is expected to debate that very call by Prime Minister David Cameron later on this Friday. This as U.S. authorities say they believe they have zeroed in on the masked IS militant who had beheaded 2 American journalists and a British aid worker. Our Ji-yeon tells us more on these developments.
The U.S.-led coalition fighting Islamic State militants in Iraq and Syria is making some progress. During a briefing with reporters in Washington, FBI Director James Comey said that the U.S. has determined the identity of the militant who beheaded 2 American journalists and a British aid worker in Syria. But he would not be drawn on releasing his name to the media just yet. The videotaped beheadings of Americans James Foley and Steven Sotloff were major factors in U.S. President Barack Obama's decision to strike IS militarily, with the group's main strongholds in Syria the main targets of U.S. airstrikes this week. The Pentagon on Thursday released a video of its airstrikes against the Ma'adin module refinery, a target that's under IS control in eastern Syria. Attacks on oil refineries are intended to undermine the group's ability to finance itself from oil sales. The U.S.-led coalition to fight the extremist group is gaining momentum, as Britain announced on Thursday that it would join. Prime Minister David Cameron is waiting for Parliament to grant its official approval. Other Western allies of the U.S., including France, Australia, Belgium, and the Netherlands, have agreed to join the airstrikes in Iraq. But despite these developments, the Pentagon says it's too early to say whether the U.S.-led coalition is winning against the IS. A spokesperson pointed to Islamic State's continued access to financing, volunteers, and weapons, even after the aerial bombing campaign against them began last month. Ji-yeon, Arirang News.